We're going to be talking about now the last three topics. One thing I like about with version 29, and as Natasha was going over them, is that there's a lot of customization that you can do. So you notice with those charge line items, you can modify diagnosis codes, those transaction entry alerts, the multi-link codes, a lot of modifications. So there's a lot more control that you have while you're using Medisoft. What I'm going to highlight for the last three, particularly two of the three, are add-ons with the eMEDIX clearinghouse. So if you're sending claims using eMEDIX, then these are options that you can add on to it. And one of them is the patient responsibility estimate with no insurance. So the one that was released previously in the last version was with the insurance. Now what they've added is for patients who are self-pay, you can now generate an estimate that shows you what they have coming up, kind of like a treatment plan. So if you're like maybe a surgery center or a chiropractor office, you have a set of transactions that you know are coming up for that patient, you can put together what might be an estimate for them, what they can expect to pay for in the future. So some of the features that they've added when it comes to this for self-pay patients is one thing you can, I'm going to start by showing you inside of Medisoft, the program options section, because you can put a little description on there of what you want to show on that letter that you hand off to the patient. So you access that by going to File and then Program Options. And then once in Program Options, you're going to go to this eMEDIX estimate. And you'll see here at the very bottom of the tab, it says Patient Estimate Message for Self-Pay Patients. So you can customize this to whatever you'd like. Right now, the default is if you don't have insurance, you will owe the full amount of the estimated charges. You can put your contact information there if you'd like, any additional details. It'll be like a general message that shows up for each one of those patients who receive that. The way you set it up is from within the patient's case. So this is one of the first things you do is enter in your message here for that letter. Then you go into the patient's account inside of their case. We don't have this service activated under this demo program that we have, but I'm going to show you how to get into it and where you're going to go to pull that up. So when you're inside of the patient's case, you're going to notice a button there off to the right that says Patient Responsibility Estimate. If you were to click on it, and this might be a good example to show you, and if you don't have that service activated with eMEDIX, when you click on that button, you're going to get a message like this that says the eMEDIX patient estimate is not available. It's not registered. So just let us know or contact your account rep if you'd like to have that service added. And this will include with being able to do insurance estimates that will basically calculate, put together an amount that you can expect that patient to pay. But we do have a screenshot of it. So we can bring up that slide and show you an example of how it looks like. So if that service was activated, thank you, Natasha, you'll be able to see the transaction codes that you can enter in. So this is where you would start plugging in your different procedure codes, the number of units, the charge. So you're putting all of this together for that patient. And then once you click on that submit for estimate, it'll actually just put together a letter that's for the patient with that message that we showed you in the program options section. And that's the purpose that it serves. It's so that you can be able to show them what they can expect to pay or coming up for some treatment. So that's all there's to it. That's a quick way to just activate that patient estimate for them. So that's what they've added on is now for self-pay patients. The next thing I want to show you is in Medisoft. This is more of an enhancement for those who have been using it with the EMR program. So if you have an EMR program that's sending transactions into Medisoft, there's a section called Unprocessed Transactions where you go into and you review everything that's come in. One thing that a lot of customers, maybe you're one of them, have requested is whenever you need to delete or remove multiple transactions, you were only able to do it one by one. So I'll bring up that window here to show you the screen that I'm talking about. So in the unprocessed transactions, you activate that or bring that up through the activities menu and then unprocessed EMR charges. So again, this is only for those who are using it with an EMR program. When you open up this window, there's nothing in here right now to show you, but if you had multiple lines, especially if you have physicians who are constantly sending charges over into Medisoft or nurses, nurse practitioners, this screen can get filled with a lot of data. And if there's certain information you don't want to send in the Medisoft, certain diagnosis codes, procedures, before you could only do one at a time. Now what they've enhanced is you can just hold down the control key and just highlight the ones you want to flag for deletion. And it's as easy as just right clicking on the item, and then you would just click on delete flagged records. So similar Windows option you have where you hold down the control key and you can highlight multiple items. You can now do that inside of Medisoft with the unprocessed transactions. So that doesn't require any additional service. That's already part of the program. The last one is the other one I wanted to mention. That's an add-on. This is a major change, I would say, with Medisoft, is that they now allow you to enter in payments through credit card and through connecting it to their bank account as well, if they'd like to. So this is one of those two. I don't have the service activated, but I'll show you. There's going to be various areas in Medisoft where you're going to see a button that's labeled CGM Pay. It's going to be in various windows, in your transaction entry screen, in your appointments too, if you're using office hours, in your deposit screen, any place where you could put in a payment, there's going to be a new button that says CGM Pay. So I'll bring up an example here. So I'll just pull up this last patient. I'll choose Anthony because that's my name. So at the very bottom, you'll see the button that says CGM Pay right above the close button. So again, this is a button I can't launch right now and show you, but what this does, it allows you to enter in a credit card. So it ties in with merchant fees too. So you would just, if you are interested in that, and I think their preferred vendor is the Global Pay, who's going to be processing these. So this is going to connect within your Medisoft so that you can process credit card payments. And it's a very simple looking screen. I think we might have a screenshot for that one. CGM Pay. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. So when you open up the CGM Pay and you click on that, this is how it's going to look like. Very simple. You just select if you want to do by check or credit card. And as you click on either of these options, then you just enter in their information, go ahead and click next, and then it'll process a receipt and actually process that charge. They also, well, first let me show you the various areas in Medisoft. So one of the spots where you can put in that CGM Pay is transaction entry, like I was showing you here. You'll also be able to do it from within your office hours, like if you're putting in a copay. I'll get back over on that screen. So let's say you're inside of office hours using the scheduling program, and you open up a patient's appointment. You go over here to this enter copay button, and then you'll also see that CGM Pay. So that'll launch that same window where you can process their payment right in here. You'll also be able to do it through your deposit screen. So that's the place where you're also putting in patient payments. You just go right into enter deposits and payments. And when you go to create a new deposit and you switch this over to patient, once you put information in here, let's say it's a $20 cash payment, and then you select the patient's name, then you'll see that button activated for CGM Pay. So those are the various areas where you can activate it. You'll also have like a dashboard for CGM Pay, which is right here, this little icon right next to this AR tracker, probably one of my favorite features of Medisoft. This one here, CGM Pay dashboard, when you click on it, since it's not activated, this is the messages you'll get. But this is kind of a general view of what you'll see here. This is a screen that lets you even add more customization to payments that you receive, credit card payments. You can save payment methods as well, just by selecting a chart. If it's a recurring, if you have somebody on a payment plan and you want to process a payment for that patient, as long as they have a balance, you can set it up right here. So it's an automated type of process. And it's going to also show you a transaction history here at the very bottom that shows you all the different payments that you've received. If you need to send out another or print out another receipt, you can do that from here as well, a merchant receipt. So this all ties in with the merchant that's connected with Medisoft.
Hey, thanks for watching our video. If you want more videos like this, be sure to subscribe and also do us a favor and click that like button. Thanks again and see you on the next one.